Hello everybody, welcome back. We are doing part 2 of wardrobe favourites. First part I did in London and then I needed to wrap it up with some of the things that I have here in New York instead of in London. It's not going to be as long, so I'm also going to include some new bits at the end that I'm excited about. And it's very shoe and coat heavy. I do think I said this in the last one, but basically I finished winter in New York this year, so all the winter clothes are here, and then I was in London for spring, so I left lots of coats and everything here, and it still isn't coat season yet in New York, so they've been here for a while, and hence it's going to be a very boot and coat heavy one. So without further ado, these are my favourite pieces in my wardrobe here in New York. I'm going to start with this beautiful leather jacket. I bought this maybe 6 or 7 years ago. It's from Toteme, a brand that I love and still love, but I do unfortunately think their quality has gone downhill over the years. This is a really simple black leather jacket, and the kind of real piece de resistance with it is the zip of the sleeve, which you'll be able to see when I'm wearing it a lot better. Kind of slightly curves around the arm. And the rest of it is incredibly simple. It's quite short through the body, so I wear it a lot with higher waisted trousers. It's just a forever piece, and the thing that I love so much about leather, I said this about the Whistles coat in my last video, is it really does just get better and better and better. If you buy like the right style of something, of a leather jacket that you're not going to tire of, it's just going to improve with age, which this has definitely done. I love it. And I'm going to stick with coats. Another Toteme classic is the Toteme trench coat. Do they still do this? I'm not sure. They might do. With the tortoiseshell buttons, they also did it in a beige, very classic trench coat colour. I love it. The only thing that was always really annoying about this is that it came with these ties on the sleeve. What ties, I hear you cry? They have been lost. These would not stay done up for love nor money, and so eventually I just lost them. They fell off. Thankfully it hasn't really changed the overall aesthetic of the coat, and if anything I probably prefer it without it. But yeah, it's beautiful, and what I really like about this is that although it for some reason had to have ties on the sleeves, it thankfully didn't have a tie around the waist, so the shape of it is just very simple, very classic, great quality. It's quite warm for a trench coat. Really love it. Really, really love it. Two of my favourite Toteme pieces there. I've got one more coat that I'm sat on, which is from Row, not the Row, R-O-H-E, which is, I've only had this for about a year, so maybe I'm being a little bit cheeky including this in here, because both of these I've had for many, many, many years. But I got this last winter, I think. I sent it from the brand. I really, really like this brand, so I just want to include them as well. And it's kind of like a blazer coat. The fabric feels like a very thick blazer. It's not a wool coat. I mean, it might be made of wool, but it's not, you know, it doesn't feel like a classic wool coat. But it's so chic and it's so good for evening wear. Anything that I'm wearing throughout the winter here or in London, throw this over it. It's really, really, really smart. It's nice and oversized, but not, you don't look like you're wearing your dad's coat. It's a really beautiful piece, and I'm pretty sure it's one that they do all the time. I hope it's one they do all the time so that I can link it. I have it in a size 36, and yeah, it's just one of those pieces that so great to throw on over whatever you're wearing to go out, and it really does elevate any outfit. So now we're on to shoes and a single handbag. I wasn't lying when I said the majority of the clothes that I love to wear all the time and have talked about the most are in London. But one bag I have here that I have to include is the suede J. Crew bucket bag. Someone asks me where this is from nearly every single time I wear it. I love the fact it's half suede, half brown leather. I love how slouchy it is. It fits loads in. The strap length is perfect. It is a really, really, really great high street bag. Well, high-end high street, but you know, it's not like a $2,000 handbag. And yeah, I just love it. It's aging really well. It's getting softer. Like I repeat myself all the time about how much I love the way that leather wears in, but the same applies for suede. Really, really great bag. I'm going to sit with J. Crew while we move into shoes and talk about these flip-flops, which are so I mean, I don't know how much longer I'd be able to keep wearing them because they are so incredibly well worn. You can see how much they've been worn down there because they are the comfiest flip-flops. These give Havaianas a run for their money, which I think are some of the comfiest shoes you can buy. They're so squishy and padded on the bottom, and then the actual leather, the strap of the flip-flop is really squishy too. I love flip-flops so much. They're probably my favourite style of sandal. I wear them all the time. I miss wearing them when it's winter and I can't wear them. And they look great. The way that the Row is styling them is only making me love them more and more. And these were just some of the best. J. Crew, please never stop doing these so I can repurchase them because I love them so much. Another sandal, the only other pair of sandals that I have here to talk about, again is a bit of a cheeky one because I only bought these last year, but when I was reflecting on doing the one in London and doing this video as well, I was feeling quite smug with myself because I realised that a lot of the, especially over recent years, very high-end purchases I've made, these being one of them. I think these are about, my instinct was to say $900, and then when I went to say that I thought surely not. Hundreds of dollars is what they were. Very expensive. They're from Khaite. But the things that I've spent that kind of level of money on in recent years really feel like they're pieces that I'm going to have forever and ever, and like I've really hit a stride with knowing when to invest, when not to invest, if I'm having fun with something to not invest as much, but when it's something that I know will be something I wear for many, many years, will be something I never want to get rid of, will be something that I maybe like don't love one season but fall back in love with the next season, like that cropped Toteme leather jacket. It's not that cropped, but the Toteme leather jacket. There's been a couple of years where I've barely worn that, but then it's one of those that I will never part with because then when I revisit it, it feels like a really consistent thing in my own personal style. Which I think these will be too, these beautiful Khaite sandals. They're incredibly simple. They're almost a flip-flop, but I think because they have this little extra toe bit here that they are not a flip-flop, and they have this tiny heel. I talk a lot about how I can't wear heels and don't wear heels. These are just perfect and elevate things literally and also metaphorically really nicely, and they're just incredibly chic and really beautifully made, and I love wearing them so much, and I think that I will have them for many, many, many years. And on the topic of more recent designer purchases, tabbies, I bought these 2 years ago, the flat Tabi Boots. I also then went ahead and bought the Tabi pumps, which I really don't wear that often, so they were not as much of a smart purchase as these ones were. I wear these all of the time. They are so comfy. That's the main reason I don't wear my Tabi pumps as much. They're not as comfortable, but these I can walk all day long in and often do. And I think in the winter my style very much just becomes like jeans, jumper, coat and boots. It's been nice to find pieces that make that more exciting day to day without having to really divert from that uniform, because I really do like wearing that day in, day out throughout the winter. So yes, enter these. I love the fact that they're patent. I love the fact that they're just basically a Chelsea boot. I have had them resold a couple of times and it's coming off here, but that's an issue with the cobbler, not with with Maison Margiela. And yeah, they're not for everybody at all, the Tabi, but I personally love these, and actually love these a lot more than the pumps. These are so masculine too, which I really like. And the reason that they felt like a good purchase is because I know how devoted I am to my Chelsea boot. I did mention these in the one that I filmed in London, but they're here. These are the Church's boots that I've had for about, I think I bought them the year before I moved to London, so I think I've had them for 8 years now. These have gone up in price so much, I said this in the last video as well, but just look at how beautiful these have worn in. To say how much wear they've had, the heel hasn't worn down super badly, but I wear these day in, day out throughout the winter and have done every single year, and I love them, I love them. Don't see that many women wearing a Chelsea boot with this kind of a, what's that called, like a broguing, it's definitely not called that, but you know what I mean. And I don't know why, because I love it so much, and I just think they're the chicest, most simple boots, and I really hope that I can just continuously get these repaired and never have to replace them, because they are perfectly moulded to my foot now. They're my favourites. Okay. Okay, I just have 2 more pairs of shoes to talk about here, both of which are a loafer. These that I mentioned in the London one but didn't have there, men's Gucci loafers. You can just tell by everything how well worn it is, but they're so comfy. They do these in women's now. That was a really hard sentence for me for some reason. When I bought these, you could only get this style in men's, and the women's ones were a different shape, but they now do this shape in the women's. I did a whole video about loafers, which I will link so you can go back and watch that, but these are great, I love them. And another recent designer splurge, recent as in I think I bought these 2.5 years ago from the Row. These were definitely about $900 and they're more than that now. I think they're over $1,000 now. The Row really do, we all need to have a word with ourselves. People shopping at the Row, we all need to go and have a reality check, but yet here I am and just continuously loving everything they do. They just have me in a chokehold and it's really not, it's not okay. But these are so beautiful. I love the Oxford colour, they're really comfortable. As you can see, I've worn them so much. I really like the kind of almost pleating effect that they have around here, and the tassels on them, just even the tassels themselves made them feel a little bit different to the classic horse fit loafer. And yeah, I've worn them so much. A loafer is pretty much a fail-safe thing for me to buy in every colour, in every style that I can find, and know that I'm gonna wear them forevermore. It's definitely one of those things that is a staple in my personal style now. Okay, I'm just gonna finish this up by talking just about some new things I've got that I'm excited about. I haven't done a video, which is essentially a haul like this in a very long time. First up is the shirt that I'm wearing, which is from COS. We were at an event last night and 3 different people asked me where it was from. I think the colour is pretty perfect. I really like it. It's just like a cotton shirt, but I'm really wearing shirts every single day at the moment. I'm feeling very chic in them, like having them quite unbuttoned, really nice and lightweight as well, and this is a beautiful one. Less of a lightweight piece, but also from COS, I have this jumper, which I really wanted to mention because I think it will sell out. As I mentioned in my London version of this video, I'm very obsessed with cobalt blue, and that Arquette shirt that I mentioned in that video is to blame for it, and I really wanted to bring this colour into my winter wardrobe when it's no longer shirt weather, and thankfully COS delivered with this beautiful knit. I also featured COS cashmere is one of my favourite knitwear for heavy chunky cashmere, one of the favourite brands that I have cashmere from. I don't know, is this cashmere? This is 100% wool, not cashmere, but it's very soft still, which is why I wasn't sure, and just the most beautiful colour, and it's the same fit as the black cashmere one that I have from COS that I know I wear all of the time, so I'm really excited to wear this. Like, imagine this with some black jeans under the Rohe Coat with the Tabi Boots. Just so simple, but I think it's going to look great through the winter, so I'm very excited about it. I have 2 new pairs of shoes that I'm excited about. That little spiel about loafers was, I think, essentially me justifying what I'm about to show you. One is a pair that I was sent from a brand called Jamie Hallett that I'm really, really loving her shoes. Their shoes, his shoes. Actually not sure if it's a man or a woman who runs this brand, but it's a really beautiful brand. I have some sandals from them that I wore all the way through the summer, and they just sent me these beautiful loafers, which are really nice because they're quite slim fitting. They cut quite high up on the foot, which I also really like, and then this like croc effect brown leather, very 70s. I love them. And finally, the most amazing pair of boat shoes. These are a brand called Saman Amal that I actually found on TikTok, and they're a very, very, very small brand. They mostly do like tailoring and some unisex shoes. They're bringing out a new style of shoes soon, but at the moment I think these are the only style that they have, but they have them in suede and different colours as well. I got them in this beautiful textured leather. They are so, so good. They are unbelievably comfortable. I've been wearing them a lot since I got them, and wearing them without socks. I love the fact that they have a rubber sole. I was talking about this in the last video, worrying that I'm always going to slip over basically. But yeah, I'm really excited about these, and I have a good feeling that they're going to be something that I wear a lot. They're not dissimilar in shape at all to the men's Gucci. I think again because they're unisex, they have that masculine style, which I just really love. I love wearing stuff like that with like a more elegant outfit, really simple, like lots of beautiful tailoring, and then a masculine shoe. It's just the most perfect combination. That concludes this. I felt like that was a whirlwind and we rattled through it. I'll link anything that's available in the description box. And yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this one. I really enjoyed going through my wardrobe, both in London and here. And I know I keep saying it, but at some point I'm going to find a way to put into words how I think my style changes between both cities, because I think nothing sums it up better than the fact that the Tabis were here in New York and not in London, and there's something I'm way more comfortable wearing here than in London as well. But yeah, I will definitely do that video at some point. But in the meantime, I hope you've enjoyed this one, and thank you so much for watching.